Microsoft, Google, and Facebook are just some of the major companies that many of us see emails from every single day. But are those messages really coming from who they say they're from? Or is it cyber criminals in disguise as these brands trying to lure people into giving up personal details or bank details? I'm Danny Palmer. This is ZDNet Security Update, and with me to talk about how hackers are imitating brands in phishing attacks is Maya Horowitz, Director of Threat Intelligence and Research at Checkpoint. Thanks for joining me. So first of all, how do these attacks work?
Hi, Danny. These attacks are typically phishing emails that just get to your inbox saying that they're allegedly from Microsoft, DHL, Amazon. In some cases, even spoofing real email addresses of these companies. And just asking you to click a link or to open a document to get your DHL package or to sign into your account.
You mentioned some of the brand names there. I mean, are those some of the most common ones we're seeing at the moment? And why is it that these ones in particular are being sort of selected by cyber criminals?
So I would say, so first of all, yes, these are some of the most imitated brands, at least for the last couple of months. And I would say that, for example, DHL or Amazon, they are imitated because they rely on the fact, or the attackers rely on the fact that we would really like to get our packages or that even if we don't remember ordering anything online, we would be happy to get a package. So we are curious as to what we're getting, or we are just anxious to receive the delivery. And so there are chances that we'll be so excited about it and so thrilled that we just click the link without overthinking it. So I think that that's one type of the psychology or the reverse psychology that the attackers are doing on us. But also, if we relate to the most imitated company in the last few months, which is Microsoft, then I think here it's actually because they have more to gain, because it's not just about attacking a single user and getting their credentials and maybe their money, but it's also a way to get into a corporate, because today, a Microsoft credentials could be Office 365. So it means that that's a way to get into the corporate email or the network itself. So of course, this is more lucrative for the threat.
The delivery messages are an interesting one there, because for as long as there's been email, there's been fake emails saying, oh, we are so Walmart or Tesco or any other major brand of superstore. Click here to get your free voucher, which is some basic attacks, and a lot of people will see that as being phony. What is it about these messages saying we are Amazon or we are DHL and you may have missed a delivery that is getting people to click and think, oh wow, maybe I have missed something. I better check this out.
So maybe it's just the fact that we are over shopping nowadays. Maybe it's because the physical stores, many of them are closed, globally because of the lockdowns. So we are doing more shopping online. So many of us are getting lost between all these packages and all these, deliveries that get to our homes on a daily or weekly basis. And so we don't really remember, did we order anything? Did we not? When is it supposed to arrive? So one, it's just that the fact that we are so overwhelmed and confused, but also, as I said, also excited. Like it's something that I ordered, it's something that I'm looking for. Maybe it's a gift from someone else. I want to know. So, even if I don't remember ordering anything, maybe it's just a present. So, so it's not something, maybe it's part of the, fear of missing out. I have this package. So I don't know, even if I suspect that it's that it might be a phishing email. I'm more afraid of not getting the package than of falling victim to a phishing attack. So that's probably also part of the psychology around these attacks.
And when it comes to the corporate attacks, as you mentioned, Microsoft is one of the key names that is mimicked there. A lot of us are working from home now, so we are using things like Office 365 to stay in touch with our colleagues, often using home devices maybe to even do so. So how are attackers exploiting that trusted brand in order to trick people into clicking through to things? Because sometimes with these ones, it might not necessarily then be saying this is an email from Microsoft, but also the fact that it might say you need to log into your account to confirm this email. And that's one of the ways which cybercriminals are also stealing details. Is that correct?
Right. So in fact, one of the campaigns that we've seen lately is a campaign of emails allegedly coming from Microsoft with an attachment of an e-fax. So allegedly you've received a document through a fax, and so you open the document, and then in order to log in and to see the actual document, you need to enter your credentials. And these are the Microsoft credentials that are often part of Office 365. So it's not saying, hey, log into Office 365. It's not that blunt, but it's through eFax in this case. But then, of course, the credentials can be used to get to the corporate, maybe even to use your mailbox as the enabler to the next stages, because now they can mimic you and actually use your email as the sender to the next stage of the attack.
That's a really interesting point. How can attackers exploit your login credentials, your corporate login credentials, once they've gotten a hold of them in order to expand their attack?
So of course, once an email is received from a colleague or from someone in my company, the chances that I would open it are higher. I would not be so suspecting of this email if I know the sender. So now that they have a hold in the credentials for one user, they can use them to send the next stage of the attack, like for example, an actual malicious document that would just install the payload or the keylogger or the Trojan or the ransomware, right? Because again, now there are chances that someone would open it, and even someone who is more suspecting than the first victim. So it could be someone with higher profile, like for example, when sending the email to C-level, or to someone who is a network admin that has more credentials and would not open the phishing email, the original phishing email, but would open the email from you or from the first victim of the attack, patient 0.
And is it the case that now that a lot of us are working remotely, that these sort of attacks might be even more effective? Because email is almost the only communication we have with a lot of our colleagues now. So we're opening lots of emails from lots of people we trust. So it could be just another attack vector for cyber criminals, because they know that where email is our only means of contact.
Yeah, so not only do we open more emails, but also our laptop is at home. So maybe there's a child there who would also click links on our computer because they're using it for the Zoom with their classmates. So yeah, definitely there are more risks now that the computer and basically the access to the corporate assets is also available from our homes.
I suppose the big question here is, how can individuals and organizations protect themselves from falling victim to phishing attacks like these?
So I always say that the most important thing is to always hesitate or to always be suspicious and always think twice before opening an email, before clicking a link. And if it feels like it's not coming from the original company, it probably doesn't. Usually the emails from Microsoft, from PayPal, from all these companies would be very, very professional. The links in them would be to their own domains. They would not have typos. The sender would be from their domain. And so only being vigilant would also assist in not falling victim to these types of attacks. And for that, by the way, I think that it's very important to also be aware of recent attacks, to read, your articles or to read the Checkpoint Research blog, for companies to do awareness training to their employees, to just see the examples of how the malicious emails look like, so that you can tell the difference. But also, of course, it's also super important to have security in place, and it's both for the email, but also for mobile devices, because we haven't really gone through it, but many of these phishing attacks are not coming through email, but through text messages. So, and of course, these attacks would be slightly different and maybe not necessarily coming from Microsoft, but more from I don't know, WhatsApp or PayPal or others, Facebook. So it's also important to have the awareness and the security in place also on the mobile phone.
That's some great advice there. Thanks for joining me, Maya. And for more information on how to keep yourself secure from phishing and other types of cyber attacks, be sure to keep watching ZDNet Security Update videos, be sure to keep reading ZDNet, and of course, keep subscribed to ZDNet YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.